Whoops, I was scrolling on YouTube and I completely and utterly forgot that I was streaming. A bit irresponsible of me on my part. Alright, I'm here though. Mm. Um, let's see. Uh, duh, 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 duh. What to do with my game? Okay, so actually, I wanted to show you guys some things that I've been updating. Um, so, I actually made a lot of. Okay, I hate my phone. I made a lot of progress with my game. So yeah. Oh. Let's see. So as you can see, I got new sprites. Let me show you some of the sprites I've been working on. I took like a couple of YouTube videos. Okay, first off, I need to swap this because this is getting on my nerves. There we go. Um, I took a couple of YouTube courses on pixel art. Also, I've switched to follower only chat on my video game streams is what I'm gonna do. Or not my video game, like my video game development streams. Um, I was talking to a friend of mine, but I'm gonna put a pause on talking to them so I can do this stream for a bit. And by put a pause on talking to them, I mean like I'm going to pause talking to them for a few seconds until I can focus with a sub decent amount of attention span. Anyways, um, so yeah, I actually made a bunch of sprites. Let me pull them up. No, I want to look at the. Oh my gosh, pull up the sprite. There we go. So we got the envy imps down, gluttony, greed, lust, pride. That was the old rage or wrath, fury. This is the new wrath, rage. Um, you'll notice like there's some differences. And then I also got a walk animation for him. It looks slightly better when in the game and with motion. And then we also have an attacking animation. So yeah, did a whole thing with that. My sister actually said make the swooshes bigger, so we might do that later on in stream. But now we're actually going to be more focused and more attentive, if you will, to the actual development of the game. Want to get that worked on. Um, da, 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 da. Oh, fudge. Alrighty, cool. So now I'm just gonna switch to texting with my phone or texting with my computer because my friend is kind of. Da, 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 da. Alrighty. Let's see what to do. Okay, and then yeah, let me show you the changes I've made to the actual game itself, which is a lot. So I slowed down the character. I felt like they were a little fast. We actually have hearts now. They're over there. The gun shoots. The gun shoots. I don't remember if that was shown or not. I've fixed up the character. Like I did the character the way I wanted them to be done. Maybe if you're watching, this is the character that I made you draw that one time. And yeah, okay. And so as you can see, let me, you can actually, I can hit R to restart it now. Hello, Kovac. Nice to meet you. How's it going? Just doing some game dev, using Game Maker because as much as a developer as I am. Oh, I'm doing great, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing Game Maker Studio because I love coding, but I don't love writing. So writing code, not my forte. I can do it. Like I'm actually well versed in the arts of Java and Python and all that. I went to like I mean I go to like I went to coding middle school. My high school has like a bunch of different coding classes, but oh my gosh, you can't I don't like to write code. So many different rules depending on what the software and I have to learn new software, stuff like that. But thank you for following and chatting. How's it going? You doing good? Anyways, yeah. Let me so yeah, you can move, you can run, you can shoot a gun. I might implement ammunition later on. I wanted to be one of the things about this game. I, it can be, and it's not that I don't know. Like I know multiple languages. I don't actually know the coding language for this software. I don't know C sharp, which is kind of throughout Unity, kind of throughout Unreal, stuff like that. It's like I don't really want to learn C sharp. But Game Maker has a visual, and I know how to do visual coding, so I was like, oh yeah, let me try that. But yeah, really cool thing. So this guy chases you. He he doesn't follow the laws of fit. Oh, he got me cornered. Oh, you're working on a new project and more. That's awesome. You can't steal mine. Duh, duh. But no, I'm just kidding. Uh, but like yeah, so gun shoots doesn't kill him yet. He used to take out my hearts, but he was at one point it would just like he would take out my hearts. Oh no, oh no. But yeah, at one point he would like just kill me automatically. So I was like, okay, well we'll come to that when I figured that out. Because if you kill me automatically, the moment I open up the game, I can't really test it and see if it's working. So now he can just soft block me and by blocking me against a wall. I have a couple of methods to fix that, and that'll probably be like a cooldown feature where like if he hits you, he like waits 5 seconds or something. But enough of. Oh wait, you guys can't actually see the. Okay, well hold up, because since I have. So fun thing, since I have entire screen monitor 2, no monitor 1. There we go. So that means yeah. So if I hit that, yeah, okay, you can see it. So yeah, so yeah, this is the actual game. Ignore what you saw on the screen. This is the yeah. Like he chases me. Oh gosh, no. Ah, fudge. But yeah, so there's that. I had hearts. I'm definitely gonna work on the. It is really hard to see the enemy. Yeah, I'm thinking of. I'm trying to make the ground and the enemy a different color. They're a really dark red for that exact reason. Especially compared to like, are all of them that dark of a red? They might not be, but like, I think that one specifically is a darker red compared to his compadres. You get out of here. We don't want you anymore. Let's find out. I think they're the same red, but I made them a darker red to like help differentiate them from the floor, and then the floor was still too like similar, so I have to figure out a solution to that because I want the floor to be like a kind of like a red. So what I might do is I might make like an actual like cool tile floor or something like that. But yeah, I'm actually really proud of the way that this is starting to come out. Darker red for the ground, lighter red for the characters. That might work. I might actually, you know, that's not a half bad idea. I'll probably try. I'll try that in a few seconds. What I wanted to do though was start working on like the refining the gameplay because I'm more of a gameplay first, sprites midway, and then at the end. I came across. So I used to hang out at this little funny thing called the Boys and Girls Club. Okay, that'll be right there. I don't want that there. We'll do chatting real quick. Move that like I don't know right there. Um, da, da, da. And life. My friend is thinking about becoming a content creator, so they're just asking me a lot of questions about that. Exactly, yeah. Exactly that. Exactly that. You get the idea. Unless you happen to be like an artist and your first like you for I will say this, when you're doing game development, you want to get the like you want to make sure you have a functional game and then you can worry about all the other stuff because if you have a bunch of sprites and then no game behind it, you are just going to get like it's kind of like how you don't fight a boss and then the minions. You fight the minions and then the boss because the minions will overwhelm you while you're going after that boss. Something I should probably implement into my game at some point. Um, but gosh, I'm so freaking close to hitting 50. But yeah, like, you're exactly right. Um, I love comparing game development to video games. It's almost as if, it's my whole life. Me, video gamer, game developer, never. Sha. Where'd you get that idea from? Oh yeah, I've been working on a lot of crazy stuff. A lot of crazy stuff. Um, I've also been watching a lot of tutorials. I've done so it's kind of I've never put out like this is going to be my first ever. This is why I'm putting it out here is a really fun experience. This is going to be my first ever actual video game. Um, like I've hopped on like I said, I went to a coding middle school, so like they all had us hop on Scratch and like make little games and stuff. Like it was just kind of like why I'm actually like able to blow through this as quickly as I am. But I'm also learning like a lot of cool stuff about video games that I didn't know about the gaming industry and stuff like that, or coding too. Like I recently learned about let me go back here, state machines and how those like have a place in gaming. So yeah, I definitely like yeah, I would say basic gameplay first. Um, art, beautifying it, music, beautifying it. That's definitely a middle job. Um, the only thing I would say is if you have a team of people, you do all of that at once. Like you don't you do have your if you have a team of people, then you're doing all of that at the same time. But it's not you doing it. It's like I'm doing coding, that person's doing art. We're all doing this at the same time. And then it's like, hey, I'm coding walking. You got a walking sprite for me? Cool. Gee, thanks. And that's the other thing is like I'm also coding in like attack sprites or I'm like drawing up attack sprites, stuff like that. Yeah, it is true. At least I think it is. But like I'm coding in attack sprites. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, seeing as I don't have any health, or like I have health now, but when I first did attacks, I had no way of verifying that I was getting attacked. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, if I touch them, I need to know how I'm being like I'm touching them. It's my code's working. I know I'll activate a attack sprite, and now I know. Yeah, okay, that works. But what I need to do is figure out a cooldown. Wait, cooldown, cooldown. I've done a cooldown. Where is the Da, 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 da. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Do I have one open? Yep. I could. I've just never been one to do like debug logs. Like I I know that like that and commenting. Like I know people do it all the time. Like they're like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to my compile errors or feather messages or whatever the heck it is. Oh, output. Maybe it's output. It might be output. But like I just like that's the thing for me. Like, and here's the thing, I would 100% recommend that. 100%. if like game development, it saves you so much time if you just do like I'm just stubborn and like lazy, so I don't do the display message here kind of thing. So that way, like I'd rather sit here and make a cute little learn how to do cute little sprites rather than yeah. See, I don't because yeah, like only time I've ever done those is in class, and this might be the other reason why I didn't like they don't make us do them in school a whole lot when we're doing like website development and stuff like that. I was like, all right, cool. If I'm not gonna have, if I don't have to do it, why am I doing it? So no, I'm not going to do it, which worked out because you know what? I have a nice little sprite here now. And then the other thing is like it might send you a message, but also what that might do is it might just send you one message rather than like sending you messages to keep letting to let you know that dude, coding in school is like I'm so glad I went to the school I went to. It was a crappy middle school and it's an all right high school, but uh my middle school actually got shut down. Um the literal like coding in high school and middle school, I love every like second of it. I'm kind of grateful though cuz my high school better than my middle school, but the computer science classes are kind of lame. Like I wish they had done better. However, I learned JavaScript, so not the worst, but it's pretty bad. Shush it. Hey, I've like you hear all the time about people learning from like those random sites. Just where am I? But I had to. Did I close out of that like an idiot? I did, like an idiot. Huh. All right, cool. There we go. Shoot. Who are some good vloggers? Vloggers. Oh, this is my YouTube channel, so all of my stuff gets posted here, for the most part. I once tried to mod Minecraft. That never got posted here. Lots of name drop stuff like that. Just wasn't ready. But yeah, here's my first stream of me doing game development right here. Um, ignore the fact that I'm subscribed to Dream. Everyone else I stand by, hardcore. But Dream, nah. In fact, actually, oh, I'm not subscribed. Okay, that's better. Vloggers. My friend wants to know about vloggers, so we'll who are some good vloggers? Uh, there's no okay. Pinterest. Let's see. Yeah, learning to code from GTA is cool though. It's a really cool like backstory, like game development backstory. Um, Another thing is, I actually let's see. Convert to business. No thanks. Gotta be careful of what they show me on my home because Pinterest be wildin'. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of Pinterest, pixel art, like just kind of like looking at stuff. This I might actually, this might make its way into my game. Like some, like not this specifically, but some sort of version of this. Yeah, like, alright, well, can you actually even see that? The little the little horsey here. Um, but like the way that like they have like a lot of like tutorials, stuff like that, and then even like not just tutorials, but like references. Pinterest is really good for art. Go figure. Like yeah, like this right here, golden animation, rotation, um, rock formations, spaceships, dog walk cycle. You know, I never thought I would need a dog walk cycle, but hey, I have one now. Also, I just saved some things that I thought were cool, like this right here. You got a Wii, Xbox 360, PlayStation controller, phone. I thought that was really cool. But then yeah, you also got a lot of like the game dev, like buttons, like fonts, whatnot. Who yeah, I thought this was really cool. I was like, yeah, let me save this real quick so I can know how to do this stuff later on. I might do okay, that might actually not be a bad idea. But what I need to do is I need to the other thing is like you can't be afraid to look stuff up. That's what I've always learned. Um, like as you can see, like I think almost all of these, if they aren't my channel, yeah, my channel, my channel,
What exactly is the sandbox then?
It's a 3D
YouTube video on how to
metaverse.
do stuff, my channel. Okay, that actually needs to go there. YouTube
If you
video
want
on
to
how to
learn
do
how
stuff.
Uh,
YouTube video on how to do stuff.
if you want to learn how to
YouTube
make a
video on how to do
top-down view,
stuff.
Hey there,
YouTube
everyone.
video on how to reset a computer.
It every
Song.
welcome
YouTube video on how
viewers.
to draw, or AKA do stuff.
Game inventory system.
YouTube on how to do stuff. YouTube on how to do stuff. Like one thing I will say is people will like you'll people will be like, don't do this, don't on YouTube. Like they'll be like, don't use these tutorials, and here's why, this or that. And they're right. You shouldn't like, because what you'll end up doing is you won't learn how to do these things on your own. You're not learning like certain skills. You're not learning all that stuff. So what I've done is I'll watch a YouTube video for something I don't get, like why am I like I'm trying to figure out how to get my character to stop taking damage when they touch a character, giving them like time to get away. And I might actually do that. I even have a like whole playlist for this that kind of stuff, and it's like all of that. But I digress. Da. Why am I blanking on his name? My friend is asking for. All right, hold up. Also, please don't comment on the fact that I have like 20,000 pages open.
for this, I've already made a sprite and
Yes, yes, you have. Correct. Your sprite looks so much better than mine. Also, Opera's the way to go. Kovac, what kind of software are you using to make your first game? Da, 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 da. No, Curtis Connor. That's right. Uh, cause yeah, I'm actually intrigued. What kind of software are you using? In the meantime, let me try and figure this whole mess out. First off, I need for him to Ultra Engine. Huh. I might actually look into that. I like knowing about stuff that's going on in the game dev community. So when a new software comes out and I don't know, it's kind of scary actually. Cause like lead works. Yeah, I'll have to check into that. All right. Yeah. For the longest time I was using Unity and then the other thing was um like games. Like I used um Game Maker MV or RPG Maker and it was RPG Maker like MV or something like that. Some of them are cool and some of them are like I'm sitting here making this for what? And some of them felt like I'm not going to get paid using this software. I'm not like there's no real effort being put into this. I feel like LUA. Um yeah, I mean that sounds really like that sounds worth it. Yeah, I'd go for it. Cuz yeah, it's hard to find 3D engines using like it's hard to find 3D engines using different languages. Um cuz I'm pretty sure Unity and Unreal use the same like finding 3D engines in general that are good or decent is hard. Um and like cuz they're either not well supported. Yeah, Unity is C. I know Unity is C because I didn't really want to have to learn C. I thought it was, is it not C sharp? Yeah, I thought Unity was C sharp and Unreal is C plus, double plus, C double plus or whatever. You, I know it's C sharp for Unity. I completely forgot how to, what it, like I think it's just C plus plus. Oh, you're fine. Okay, good. I was like, is there another way of saying that? Because I know it's not C hashtag, it's C sharp. So I was like, I was double guessing myself for C plus plus. But yeah, fun fact, I almost took the time to learn the language C, which if you know, that's the language that like OS is written in. Like Windows is written in C, I believe. But then I was like, oh, I was like doing my research on the language C. No one, it's almost impossible to find anyone teaching C. And the reason for that is just because it's an incredibly difficult language. Yeah, you know, the fact alone that it's 3D and it gives you options is really good. The thing I like about and it's a little crazy that Unity's hiking their like I don't like the fact that Unity hiked their prices. I don't know if it's really as bad as they're making it seem like, but the fact that they hiked the prices at all is kind of annoying. But Unity with their price hike, kind of upset me, so I switched to like going to Game Maker and I think Unreal. But Unity, what I really liked about them was that they did 2D and 3D, and that's kind of hard to find in a good engine besides like in a good engine at least. Um, Again, you can always find an engine for some like there's a bunch of gaming engines, but sometimes you got to worry about the quality or the like depth of the game. That's why like cuz and don't get me wrong, Unreal's really good. It's super good quality, but like it's just there's just way too much depth and like there's a large learning curve for I would say to unit like Unreal to get it to be worth using that like all of that quality, all of that function in a good way. It's either that or, you basically take the like and that's the other thing is like a lot of people will be like, yeah, this is how I did this and like Unreal does I feel like on YouTube it doesn't have a whole lot of documentation, so I don't really want to have to sit there and learn it. And here I go, ranting on like a crazy person. All right, what the heck happened to all my stuff? What the heck? What's the rest? Oh, hold on. All right, fine. You know what we do? We close workspace one. We open. We have workspace one. We open this. So just not. Was there not? Hold up. No, hold up. Perfect. Yeah, I'll sit here and rant about video games and game development all day if you let me. So I need to hush up. Alrighty. So I've only got one gun so far. The yeah. So the whole hmm, what I want to do is get a functioning game that you can have that you can have a beginning and you can have an end. Albeit we're not doing an ending today. We're going to be doing a death, a game over today. That's the end goal. And I want it to be playable. I don't want it to I boot it up and the character already died because the guy caught up to him and like, whatever. Hoo-ha. Whatever the hoo-ha nonsense. All right. Let's see. We need to do first off, let me actually change a sprite so I can see it and know it's going on easier. No, actually just swap that. There we go. Looking good. Oh my gosh, dude. What I probably need to do is spend more time using a sprite. Oh my god. So you're saying you're using Ultra Engine. Have you thought about like what kind of like not software, what kind of genre of gaming you want? Looking beautiful. That should really, oh, jealous. Looking good. Now for me to just wish I had. 'Cause, 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 Ooh, horror, mystery, and puzzle. I I'm gonna be 100% honest. As an indie game developer, I feel like horror is, and this is in no way shade. Like I love people that put themselves out there and do horror games. I feel like we could always use like horror games is a very I love that category and genre, and I especially love like mystery puzzles, all that. Like I love a lot of them. I feel like there's just a whole like I feel like it's really it kind of sucks for the developers, I would say, because at the end of the day, the people that play it are going to be overly critical because of how oversaturated it is. They're going to be like that you're not going to get a fair shake even if it's like your first game, your second game, or your 15th game. You're not they're just going to be there's no way that they're going to be like, well, this is actually a really good game for an indie like, like there's crap wrong with all sorts of games, but you're not going to get treated if you're an indie or a AAA. Horror is such a bad genre, I would say, because of the oversaturation. I mainly blame like the I don't blame Five Nights at Freddy's. I blame the era, or like not yeah the era it brought out for game devs, and like gaming. Because right after Five Nights at Freddy's, you started seeing games like Poppy. You started seeing games like all sort like those sort of games, and like again, nothing wrong with them. I love those like games and what they're doing for the community. What I don't love is they're making it harder for developers to like really get a fair like stake in that community. And then the other thing is it's so overpopulated. It's hard to like s- you have to find a way to like differentiate yourself and really set yourself out from the others. Which honestly, I'd say it's a double-edged sword. I'd say that's 100% a double-edged sword because on one hand you have to like strive that much harder, but on the other hand, the risk to reward scenario, your risk, you put out an amazing game and you get crapped on. The reward, you put out an amazing game, everyone feels that vibe, and you are on top, and you are on top of the top because there's so many game devs that are just going out for the yeah, let's do it, let's do a horror. And my game isn't really horror. In fact, my game I really liked it's kind of like a homage, you could say, to one of my best friends. One of his favorite games is Enter the Gungeon. So I wanted to do something like that. But yeah, I would say if you're doing horror, do what you want to do. Um, you have to when you're starting out, you're not doing games for fans. Like you don't like no one ever does games for fans. You're doing it because you want to do it. And that's how gaming should be. When you're when you have a fan base, you're not doing it for yourself anymore. You're doing it for yourself and for your fans. And the moment you lose sight of one of those is the moment you're going to put out a bad game. Alrighty, so let's see. Honestly, more power to you. Like, I love horror games. I feel like we can always use another horror game. And I if, if everyone was to be like, there's too many horror games. Stop making horror games. Then like we wouldn't have any good horror games. And like there is like a lot of the best horror games are indie developers. Like Bendy and the Ink Machine, Five Nights at Freddy's. Um, oh my gosh, I'm blanking right now. Dead by Daylight. I think was Dead by Daylight's an indie, right? Shoot, let me correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I, I personally, FNAF, never heard of it. But Dead by Daylight horror or Dead by Daylight indie? Dude, I'm tired. Indie? Question mark? Who was it made by? Oh, it was indie. Cool. See, I'm not crazy. Hell, even Garten of Banban was kind of like, see, and that's the other thing is like a game could be considered absolute dookie, garbage, boo boo, faha, game, and then it could completely make a comeback for all those iPad kids. So, you know, and you can't, and the other thing is, you don't pick your fans pick you. That's what I love about creating content and people enjoying it. You have to be flexible to, and you have to like, you get to meet people that you normally wouldn't meet. Alrighty, let's see. This is my, what am I doing? What is this code for? This is code for my freaking gun. I just realized that. No, wait, this is code for my, no, is this code for my bullet? Alright. Dum 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 diddy dum 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 dum. Alrighty. What do I need to work on? What do I need to work on? I know exactly what I need to work on. Okay, cool. Close out of the sprites. Go to the enemy. Not team of sprites. Sprites. Beautiful. Let me check to make sure that that sprite's done well. It is not. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. Just to make it a little bit better. Um, yeah. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask chat. Dum, dum, dum. It's actually pretty quiet in here. Let me play some.
Question. Would you build?
No, no, I wouldn't. Um, that don't need to have all of that capitalized. Lo-fi. All right, there we go. Let's have some nice calming music in the background. Dum, 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 dum. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do actually set speed to 0. What? Dastardly! For that feels like a lot of work. I'll do the research on how to do that in a few seconds. Timelines. No, I'm good. I don't want to do timelines either. Audio tiles, drawing, collisions, movement. Wait, here we go. Start time source edit. I'm hoping this is a smart way of doing this. Otherwise I feel stupid. I just want to know how to do timeline. I want to do an alarm. That's cute. Um, I'm pausing the lo-fi for just a second so I can watch a video on how to do this. Duplicate tab yet again.
Hi, Frank George here. This is the EMS foot massager. EMS is electrical muscle
For this, I've already made.
All right, let's do this. Hmm.
Hello everybody, version 2.3 of Gaming Studio 2 has arrived, and that means I've got a bit of a preamble to do. At the start of this video, I'll put up a timer on screen so you can skip ahead just to the actual code stuff. But importantly, with that out of the way, we are going to carry on, and this is episode
Alrighty.
27, and in this episode, we're going to look at actually damaging our little slime boy over here, okay? We can swing at him. He jumps at us, but neither of us can interact with each other in this sad, cold world. Okay, so we're gonna make it so that this attack actually hits the enemy, gets hurt, and if he gets hurt enough, he'll explode into a shower of slime. Okay. Okay, so originally I wasn't going to do this, but I did decide that I think from this point onwards I will be trying to use 2.3 methodology and so on in this series, just to do the best we can to sort of bring people up to speed. We're not going to go back and like refactor everything with like that. That may as well just be starting the series from scratch, right? There's a whole bunch of new ways to organize things and do things. And we're just going to apply it going forwards, okay? We're not going to worry too much about refactoring or changing anything. A few things I will here or there, and I'll point them out as I do. Like we're going to merge some scripts together in this episode and so on, and you'll see. Anyway, the first thing I want to do before anything else is to do with the new asset browser. So the asset browser by default will just order everything in the project alphabetically. You see animation curves at the top, timelines at the bottom. We can just get rid of timelines. We're never going to
Okay,
need anything
we can do without all of this. I need to get to the actual.
animation with. I'm going to so down is come to our p enemy object, our root object for all our enemies. And I'm going to add a new variable definition at the bottom here, enemy HP. Okay, I'll just zoom in on that so you can see. Enemy HP, it's a real, and we're going to set its default to be 1. Okay, then we're going to.
Alrighty, I can do this. I can do this. I do this. I do this. So yeah, we're not gonna name it the exact same. We'll do. Apparently, I've done this already. I must have forgotten that I attempted to do this already. Well then. Huh. Oh wait, this tutorial is not what I need it for, but it is what I need it for, so we will continue on in this area. Alright, so what I want to do is first off, I need a if ex if expression, if variable, if variable, imp imp wrath health is equal is less than or equal to 0. In case that they do over 0 damage, it won't be equal. So we want to do that. If if imp wrath health less than or equal to 0, destroy the instance. Just destroy the imp. Yes, self. Destroy the imp. Else, what am I doing? Assign, no, no, assign imp wrath health -1 relative. And then stay with me, guys. I think this might actually work. I think I should be able to, bam. Yeah, it worked. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so that means. Okay, well he's at 0 already. Let's do 3. So yeah. So eventually I'm going to actually change the value, this right here, to actually equal just bullet damage. Because there's going to be things that I want, like maybe items that'll increase the bullet damage, stuff like that. So we'll want that to be interchangeable. We want that to increase and decrease with like items or stuff like that. Buffs, debuffs. But I think, I think, I think I did it. I think I've created a killable dude. Yeah. Yes, let's go. Step 1 on the agenda. We've already, oh my gosh, we're killing it. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, that video was very informative. Very helpful. Super helpful. Amazing video. I did it all by myself, like a big boy. But yeah, I'm just stoked that I got that on the first try. All right, well, that was cool. I feel splendid, serendipitous, if I will. Um, Now for the elephant in the room. You can't die in this game, as of right now. You can just get soft locked, which I would consider death, in a professional opinion, as a developer. And that's what I actually wanted to do. Um, Maybe I need to type player damage. I want the player to get hurt. Player taking damage. Oh, 3 years ago. Ah, well, screw it. Last video I watched was from 3 years ago, so why not watch this one too? You are a. I will stab you. I will find out who posted this video, and I will. Oh. Oh. You. You, my friend, have done it. I will not rest until I find who did that. Oh. All right, more importantly, pulsing, plusing heart, what? Wait, man. Health Systems and Game Maker Studio 2 Intermediate. Part 3 Zelda-like Heart System. Is this going to tell me that...
is the IT painkiller.
Okay, I do want the quarter heart system, but we'll... Oh, hmm. There's a lot to think about. I'm actually going to... I'm going to give y'all a moment to sit here and think about the best course of action next for my game. And taking damage. And I want to hear your guys' thought process. What do you think I should do for the damage? Like, what methods or techniques or ideas or concepts do you think would work for taking damage when I come back from a nice long break? I was gone for 5 seconds. See you missed the drug part. Oh, you're late again. Huh, I'm late again. Yes, I was eeping. You missed the drug part. Oh no, and arson too. Sadness. Wow. Yeah. First off, you're like an hour late. I'm not like upset. I'm not gonna be like, ugh, get out of my stream. You're an hour late. No, I'm like more or less questioning how you were sleeping, so not that big of an issue. Okay, yeah, I guess yeah, you were sleeping, but like I'm more or less confused on like how you woke up an hour into my stream. Like it feels like out of the blue, like spontaneous. Like, did you just like suddenly wake up and go, I was late to a stream? Like, did my stream wake you up? Did you just have like a psychic connection to my stream? Like, how long were you asleep before oh, you checked your phone. Okay, all's right with the world. Um, So fun fact, fun fact, fun fact. Okay, well, wow, I was at 5 viewers and I'm down to 3. But fun fact, I'm back. I know none of you thought, or maybe if Kuivek is still in the stream. I hope I'm saying their name right. If they're still in stream, they might have. But I previously asked, hey, does anyone have any ideas of how to make my character take damage without being absolutely unfair? I love that. Oh my gosh. There's nothing like almost dying there. Because the way I have it now, if you start to take damage, you will die. You remember Elden Ring when where they have those dogs that are able to do like crazy amount of damage in like a single frame and just kill you. So if they do damage, you're dead. That's the issue I'm having. Although for Elden Ring, I can't even remember if that was intentional or not, because Elden Ring is just such a crazy evil to play, crazy insane game. Insane game. Insane game, guys. You should have been there. Insane game. But what I'm trying to see is if alarm ze- 0. Is there a way to like stop? Maybe I get okay. Here's a thought. Maybe maybe I do an rather than doing a collision event, I delete the event. Yes, and I go to my step. And this is a crazy little thought of mine. What if we did an else? What if we need another F? If okay, this might be genius invincibility frames. I'm yeah, I am working on doing that or figuring that out. Or that or I'm trying to figure out how I would do that. I have a YouTube video pulled up if I really need to. But I kind of want to I want to freeball it as much as I can. And yes, I said that. That's a thing that I said. I don't see how that'll backfire on the internet. Never. Couldn't possibly. Woo! Anyways, I actually want to do. So, I want this game to have a Resident Evil style inventory. I also want this game to have an arcade mode where it has no inventory. It has modules, and like your weapons are modules, and your art we'll call them relics or modules. Uh, I also think that in arcade mode will work very differently from the actual regular mode. But it's a tough decision that I have to make. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Let's trying to think of how this would work, how this would work. And then I also got to figure out how to make this game multiplayer because, as it is, if I were to play this game, it is not multiplayer. Fun fact. Alright, alright, alright. Let's see, let's see, let's see. How am I going to do this? I need to figure out a way to do invisibility frames. Because I already got like basically this code. So this code is actually really funny. I Frankensteined two tutorial videos together because one of them were like set direction or set point direction to the player X, player Y, then the direction speed to player whatever, all that stupid stuff. I was like, all right, cool. And one of them was like, yeah, you're actually going to want to do like the player doesn't notice you at first, and then they notice you, because the way that the one tutorial had it, they would just always chase you. That's not what I want. I want you to be able to outrun. Oh, you can't outrun them, but you can run them into things and slow them down and get away. Maybe. Also, this isn't a set in stone thing. I'm gonna do pathfinding. I'm gonna go back through and do pathfinding. That one video I was watching was making use of grids to make them run into walls. It's not what I'm not doing that right now. Damage, damage, damage.
Remote monitoring and management, remote access, help desk and ticketing, smart automations, patching, software deployment, scripting. And the amazing thing is that it does all this while still being easy to use. It's magic.
Hello everyone, today we're going to talk about a heart-based health system. This is going to start off pretty easy. We're just going to do single hearts. Every time you lose an HP, you lose a heart. And it's going to gradually get more and more complicated as we add in quarter heart pieces and also as we add in a second row. We're going to be looking at a couple of things. For loops, if you're not familiar with those, I'll show you how to do those. It's a little bit complicated for beginners, but you can definitely learn it. It's not terribly hard. And then the
Okay, this
other
is
thing we're going to be
actually
messing with is the div and mod commands, which you may not be familiar with because we don't use them too much in GameMaker, but they are very useful for certain things that you want to do.
that is
Specifically with
that's
these
something I
hearts, it's
want.
going to be very
I do want to
helpful
use that
because we're going
for
to be
another
changing our
thing.
health around. We're going to be changing our
Alrighty, we're doing it. We're doing it, guys. We're learning how to damage the player. Yippee!
Hello everybody, and welcome to episode 30, the big 3-0. Congratulations again to everyone who has stuck it out and made it this far. In this episode, we're going to allow our slime buddy to finally get some revenge on the player. You can see he's able to headbutt the player, make him flash red, take half a heart of damage, and also become briefly invulnerable for shotgun
Yay.
so we can, you can see when I get hit there, I can actually pass
I do
through
a
him.
viewer
First
check.
thing we're going to do
If you're
is
not
do a
following
little
me,
bit of setup in
you
our
don't
player
have to
object.
follow me,
So find O
but it would
player,
be nice
go to
because
the
then you can
create
do
event,
a
and just
chat.
put in amongst
If you're
your
watching this video
variable
or the
definitions.
stream,
We're going to add
please
three
do
new
a
variables.
hi
We're going
in
to
the
add
chat
invulnerable
so I know how many
equals 0.
viewers are
Okay, now
following me
0,
or
not false.
in the chat.
That's going to be, while it's above 0,
Is there two
it's
basic
going to be
crushers?
considered to be invulnerable. So if we set it to 60, it
I
will
don't
be
know.
for the next 60
I'm
frames, we
spewing
are invulnerable. And
nonsense,
that's the
but I
whole
also
way
just
we
kind of
can
want to
use
know
that.
who's still in the
The
video
next
or
variable
who's
is going
still
to
in the
be
stream.
flash equals 0, similar to our entities and the way we made them flash. But I'm also going to put in a variable called flash shader equals sh white flash.
You're still in the stream?
Before we
Alrighty. Oh, this isn't drag and drop. And me probably, yeah. I'm wondering if the third person is Koivek. Enemies and damage number. That's cool and all. Love the damage number thing. I want to do it to where
Hello
sure, why
everybody,
not?
thanks to a vote by my Patreon supporters. I'm going to be showing you a comprehensive approach to melee attacks in games. Okay, I've got this from the perspective of a simple platform game, but it will also work for top-down games and pretty much anything. So I've got my little hero here, and what I'm going to be showing you how to do with him is make it so when I press the correct button, I do this little sword swing, and that sword swing is going to detect, using a hitbox sprite, is going to detect whether or not it hits an enemy, or any number of enemies for that matter. So you can see the flash that's going on when I'm hitting this guy here, and eventually falls apart like a goofy skeleton. And if I run over here and I position myself just right, you
Okay,
can
I knew someone
actually
would say it.
hit
All of
multiple
these are
skeletons
here
at the
for the
same
very
time.
reason that
In part 2
well,
of this
some of those are just
two-part
for
special
the
on melee attacks, I'm going to
stuff
be showing
later. But most of these are for game development, doing something with an emulator, and it's like emulators, game development, 3D printing, D&D. 4 hobbies, right? Okay, 5 hobbies, streaming, content creating. So 5 hobbies. Each of them requires me to have like at least 3 tabs open. If you do not believe, well, I mean, I can close out of these now because this is just stupid. I hated this, and this. Shoot, no. Okay, cool, perfect. But like, what? What are you talking about? Stuff later. I'm kind of curious who my third viewer is. Um, so yeah, let's see. It's not you this time? Yeah. I'm wondering if it's Covect. Covect was really cool. Oh, 4 viewers this time. Let's go. What? Honestly, what the heck are you guys talking about? Men? Ah, love them. Anyways,
showing you how to do combo chains as well, so that instead of just doing the same like one static swing over and over, if we press attack again within a certain window, we do a different animation that can also have a different hitbox, different amount of damage, different qualities, whatever you want. Okay, so first of all, let's go through the process by which this is going to happen. Because I think if you understand the process and you know enough about GML, you might not even need to watch the rest of the video. So the first thing we want to happen is have the player press a button and then the character play his sword swing animation. We're going to use a state machine to accomplish this. Second of all, we're going to
Okay.
empty, or create, I guess, a DS list. This list is going to store everything that has already been hit by this particular animation. Every game step that we're in this attacking state, we're going to check to see if we've hit an enemy. We do this by temporarily swapping out our player character's collision mask from his usual walking around mask to a mask that mirrors his attack. There are lots of different approaches to storing and using hitboxes, from creating other objects to manage them and so on and so forth. But I think just swapping the mask out like this is a really elegant solution. It does mean you have to use precise collision checks for these swings, because unfortunately in Game Maker, precise collision checks are the only ones that support a per frame collision check, and that's exactly what we need to make each frame have a different hitbox from the last. The alternative is to store your hitboxes as relative coordinates via some sort of DS map JSON strategy,
JSON,
which is ultimately the most flexible and probably best all-round solution, but it is a really big pain and takes a long time and a lot of your own know-how to set up and manage, often requiring you to build some sort of UI or tool to be able to manage your hitboxes visually. Whereas this method is super elegant, super simple, and a couple of precise collision checks is not going to ruin your game in 2018. So after swapping to this mask, what we're going to do is use the new collision list functions to check to see which enemies we've hit. And it
I did not
returns them
just.
into a DS list. We check each instance ID in that DS list to see if it
Okay,
already
cool. I
exists
didn't just.
in our list of things that have been hit
Why are
so
you like
far
this?
by this individual attack. For each one that has not yet been hit by this individual attack, we add its ID to the list of things that have been hit by this attack, and then we cause the effects of the attack on that instance. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So let's get started. So this is our player's code. I assume you're able to set up a game to the point where you have a simple platformer where you can move around, or a simple top-down game, and your step event's going to look something like this, where you get your inputs, you work out the speed you want to move, you sort out any collisions, and you do that stuff. That's all I've got going on here, okay? And some basic like v-speed, h-speed, walk speed, and gravity set up in the create event, okay? And the key press R just to restart the game, alright? That's really all I've got set up here. So the first thing we're going to do is set up a state machine for our player character, okay? All that really means
Okay. My Game Boy doesn't want to charge. That's kind of annoying. I don't know what the yippee was for, but object states. Yep, let's go. Let's go. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do is I'm actually just gonna have to go all the way back to the not this one. Not this one yet. Not that one. Not that one. I could probably just close out of this one. That one I can close out of as well. That one I don't need. Fudge. Fudgerly dudgerly.
So you think you know Wix, but do you
I think I
really?
know your mom.
First up, we've got Shake Video tasks.
If you want to learn how to make a top-down dungeon crawler, something inspired by classics like... So what I'm doing is referring to the instance OPlayer, and I'm referring to the X variable of that to the instance OPlayer. So players, we wouldn't play occupied or not. And it will use that into a room. Well, GameMaker offers motion planning functions for this. So let's look at our room, and let's look at the collision layer, just here. Now, motion planning will break the room into a grid, and it will go through every grid position and determine if it is occupied or not. And it will use that to calculate if a path between 2 points can be made successfully. Using this method, it allows it to move from one point to another, so an enemy could use this grid to navigate around solid instances and chase the player. So let's set up our grid and use it for the enemy's motion planning. Now I want to be able to create a grid variable to hold the data for the motion planning grid. So when it scans the room, I need a grid variable that'll hold where these solid instances are. And since that grid is not really related to the player or any particular enemy, I want to create a game object to hold such information. So let's go over here, and I'm going to create a control group. And inside, I'm going to create an object called O_game. And let's go into there and add a create event. And in here, we're going to create a variable called global.mp_grid. So
No, I'm not one to argue, so we're gonna do that. I actually have that object already. Just to be on the safe side, we'll create a whole nother object. So I have to finish this series.
So global means we can access it.
Did he use an assign? He did, okay. Global.mp, wait, what was it? Hold up.
And in here, we're going to create a variable called global.mp_grid.
Underscore grid, okay. That's not what I want. Wait, what is up with this? R. Did I walk off? Die, 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 die. Beautiful. He said global dot mp dot grid. Okay.
So global means we can access this variable from any instance, and MP stands for motion planning. Now I don't need to set a value yet because we'll set that in a little bit. Now every level of the game, we'll need to scan the solids and create a new motion planning grid every time the room starts. And GameMaker gives us an event for this called the room start event. So let's add a room start event. And this will run at the start of every room. Now our motion planning grid can be any size, but I'm going to use 16 by 16 for now. as that's the size our solids are set to. So if you type in macro, you can actually set a macro.
Wait, I stopped paying attention. What?
The game, we'll need to scan the solids and create a new motion planning grid every time the room starts. And GameMaker gives us an event for this called the room start event. So let's add a room start event. And
Okay, that I can do.
this will run at the start of every room. Now our motion planning grid can be any size, but I'm going to use 16 by 16 for now, as that's the size our solids are set to. So if you type in macro, you can actually set a macro.
16 by 16. I don't know if that's actually what mine are set to. Remind me, Wall, how big are you? I'll set you as solid just because I don't trust them. I think if they're solid, then that works. I think that's what I have to do anyways. I'm not 100% sure. That's not what I want. I think it's actually going to be in 64 by 64, huh? Hmm. So then mine would be
I'm just going to call it TS, which stands for tile size, and I'm going to set it to 16.
incorrect and valid, but we'll go with it. Yeah, that's 64 by 64. Mine is extra big. And yes, I know that's what she said. Hello, 4 viewers. How are you today? Are you enjoying yourself? 'Cause I am, surprisingly. This shall be. You're in excruciating pain. L, seek help. Alrighty, well, when that tells me that it needs to be better, I'll make it better. Macro. We will do TS. Shut up. We will do 64. Just like he said.
And a macro is
Kind of.
just like a shortcut, so whenever I write TS, it will replace it with the value 16. So it's kind of a way for words to represent numbers. It just makes it easier for us to understand. Now let's declare some variables that we're going to use.
I just wanted my thing to make more sense for me.
And if we look at our room, we need to know how many tiles we have for the width and how many
Ooh.
tiles we have for the height. And one way to do that is to divide the whole room width by the size of the tile. And that'll tell us how many we have this way, and we can do the same this way. But in this room, we're going to have this little gap at the end. So what we want to do is if we end up with a fractional value from the division, we want to ensure we round up so it caters for any fractional values at the end. And we can round up by using ceil. So what I'm saying is that I'm going to store a temporary variable called _w, and this is
Alrighty, perfect. I'm down to 2 viewers. Let's go. Oh, 10. Why did I go all the way down if I know that variables are usually up here? Yeah, see? Told you. Underscore W, because I'm awesome. Value
going to
equals.
be how many tiles wide our room is. So we say our room width divided by
Room. That's not room. Room. Width.
our tile size. But we're going to use the function ceil, and that will make sure
Okay, we're not doing half bad actually. As long as I don't make stupid mistakes like that. There we go. I think that should be good for that.
that it is rounded up. And I want to do the same thing for the height, underscore h, and it's going to be our room height divided.
Oh, we're up to 3 again. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. That's also not right. Oh my gosh, I'm having a bad day. And then that's going to be room height divided by TS. What's up next, man?
By TS or tile size, and we want to take the ceiling of that. And now that we've got the width and the height, we can actually use a function called MP grid create. Now I'm doing a function call because there is no code block for this. So MP underscore grid create, and here.
Okay, well that seems like a genius idea. Function call MP. No, that's not at all what I wanted. Grid. Perfect.
Grid is here, and it takes a left, a top, the number of cells horizontally, the number of cells vertically, and the width of both. So for us, we want to have 0 and 0 because we want to start it up the top left. Now our width is going to be underscore W, our height is underscore H, and our cell width and height is just TS.
Okay, that's beautiful. I just wish the quality was better. Why is it such a... Okay. Give me that high def quality.
And we're going to store that in our target.
Wow, my computer can handle high def quality. I've never been more honored in my entire life. I own a nice computer, guys. For viewers, I own a nice computer. I just want you guys to know that. Because I am proud that I own a... Shoot. Look, I can handle the highest quality on YouTube. Can you say the same? Look, just because you are a hater don't mean you have to hate on me. Just to double check that that's exactly how he has. Yep, there you go. With my highest quality YouTube can offer. See, all you hate, you don't know? Yeah, you don't know because you never had the balls to try. I did. And you know what? Live in La Viva Loca.
Target variable, which we called global.mp underscore grid.
Got it. Global dot mp that's not what that was. Underscore grid. You know, doesn't exactly invite the warm and fuzzies when his works and mine doesn't. Just gonna be 100% honest with you. But let's pray it works.
So this will create a motion planning grid with our dimensions, and we'll store the grid in this variable.
What the heck are you doing open? I said, no, you're not supposed to be open. How dare you? Oh, I should probably restore those pages just in case, though. Yep, just I thought something was important in there. Hey, you know, I love my siblings. My sibling is the one of the nicest people I know. I love my sibling more than you could possibly imagine. And anyone that would wish harm upon my sibling, honestly, should spend a year in hell. Especially if they date my sibling. I love my sibling so much that anyone who wishes harm upon them will probably face the wrath of my sibling. My sibling has been known to bite, probably has rabies. Um, Definitely isn't scary in any way, shape, or form, though. Oh yeah, not a scary bone in their body, and you definitely, yeah. You weren't ready, but you might be screwed. You might wanna you might wanna run away. disappear. Don't tell anyone. Just be gone. Move to move to move to Argentina.
So we can just write here a comment. We want to create our motion planning grid. Now, the great thing about a motion planning grid is it's very easy to add all of the instances of the solid that we have here. Because we want to scan every row, every column, make sure that we're adding anytime we have a solid.
Do you
And we
just
can
hit?
do that with one single function call. Motion planning comes with quite a few functions that we can use, and this one's called mp underscore grid, and you can see a bunch of them here. And we're looking for add instances. And this will take the ID of the grid, the object you want to add, and whether we want to use precision.
Did I screw it up and forget to remove the? I did screw it up and forget to remove that. Whoopsie daisy. Anyways, what was the one he said? Add instances. Okay. MP underscore grid add instances.
So our grid is global.mp underscore grid.
Right. That. So global. Hey, look, there it is. It's there this time.
Put a comma, and we'll add our solid, which is O underscore solid. And I'm going to set false for the precision because our solids are all squares. We're not going to use precision checking for this. It's not required.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do is we're going to Alrighty. I think it's gonna work this time. I think this right here is going to work. I think we will finally not have imps running into walls. I'm a little scared. I'm a little scared. I think that was the. Then we just have the name of our thing, which was. I think it said wall. Wall. Moment of truth. Moment of truth. Fall. Well, this isn't the moment of truth. Not yet, at least. False.
And that's
I
all that's
forgive you.
needed to add all of those solid instances into our grid. Now, if I run the game, you're not going to see the grid or any difference at all. And that's because the grid isn't drawn by default. But we can draw the grid to have a look and see what it looks like. So in OGame, I'm just going to go down and add a draw event. And in here, say if I want to hold down the Alt key, then I want to have a look at the grid. It just enables us to check it sometimes, and we don't have to have it on all the time. So if we hold down Alt, Then I'm going to do another function call, and we're going to output the grid, and we're just going to call mp grid draw. And this just takes the ID, and that is the grid name, so global dot.
Right, I'm so close to doing something for once. I feel really good about this. Like I'm ecstatic that this is actually like this might work. This is like a literal dream come true. As I'm getting to work on my own game.
mp underscore grid. So the only thing left to do is in our room, let's go and make sure under our instances that we drag across our O game, and I'll just place it up the top here. We don't have a sprite assigned to it, so it just shows up as a question mark. So let's press play and have a look at that.
Okay, guys, moment of truth. Did I fix it? Did I do it? Did I do it? What the heck are you doing? Sure, allow. What is it doing? Okay, that didn't work the way I wanted it to. Are you kidding me? Dude, oh my gosh. I don't like the debugger. Yippee, death, yay. I didn't die. It died, if that's what you were talking about. The imp died. Screw imps. Death to imps. Imps die, grr.
So now if I hold down Alt, you can see that the green is where there is no grid, and the bright red indicates
Okay,
that the motion
that's not good.
planning grid has been set there. And as you can see, it's exactly where our OSolid instances already
That's not
are.
good. Oh wait, no, it has nothing. Okay, I know exactly what that. So, okay. Whoopsie, stupid me. Because what's happening is this is that's object 6. Okay, so I need an object 8. I'll throw that there. Um, what did I do for this one? So then make your color. We'll make your color blue. So just to be on the safe side. I don't think it matters where I put it. Hold up, what? No. Hold up.
Build custom industrial machines in days. Design your machine in the simplest.
No, 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 no. You are not doing this to me, not today. All right.
To hold the data for the motion planning grid. So when it scans the room, I need a grid variable that'll hold where these solid instances are. Enemy control group underscore game event p underscore grid. So global means we can access this variable value yet because we'll set that in a little bit. Now every level time the room event. For now, macro stands for like a machine to understand. For the width, now we need to know room, and this is going to be how many tiles wide divided fill. Same division of that function and 0 and our s called. So this in this variable. So we can just write here a comment. We want to create.
Hold up. Did I not do that? Did I not do that? That it says room start, right? Room start. So yeah, then what is it?
Our motion planning grid.
What the heck?
Now, the great thing about a motion planning grid is it's very easy to add.
So then why is it giving me issue? I'm sure this will, like, let's try it now. If this gives me more issues, then I'm gonna be so upset. Oh, would you look at that? Would you look at that? Isn't infuriating in any way, shape, or form. I'm not going to cry in a corner. Eat lead, mother trucker. Uh. Okay, cool. Yep. Dude, I can't even kill him. Die, 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 die. Honestly, this is kind of fun. Alrighty, so that.
All of the instances of the solid that we have here because we want to. So our grid is global precision. Take called M. Motion planning comes with quite a few functions that we can use, and this one's called MP underscore grid, and you can see a bunch of them here. And we're looking for add instances. Add, and what it is, and we'll all going to see the and draw the grid to have a look and see what it looks like. And this just takes the. So now if I hold down Alt, you can see that the green is where there is no grid, and the bright red indicates that a motion planning grid has been set there. And as you can see, it's exactly where our OSolid instances already are. So now we have our MP grid, we can get the enemy to use it to calculate a path to the player's position. The enemy will then follow a path to that target location. So we'll need to create a path variable to store the path that they use. So over in our enemy, let's go to our create event here. And let's do another function call. And I'm going to create the path variable, and we do that via path underscore add.
Alright, so wait, function call path underscore add.
Now, this doesn't take any arguments, but it'll set a path to a particular variable. And I'm going to call that variable path. So this creates our path resource. Now, the thing about a path is it's an allocation. It allocates a resource to this variable. And when the enemy dies, we need to clean up that resource because otherwise it doesn't know that the enemy doesn't exist anymore. And we can do that in a cleanup event. So just in here, I'm going to do another function call and I'm going to do a path underscore delete. And then we just need to say, what is the index that we're trying to delete?
Path.
Well, that's where our path variable comes in.
Got it, yeah, I saw that one coming.
And now the path will get deleted and cleaned up correctly.
Alrighty.
Now, I don't like having to use a lot of function calls in drag and drop, but unfortunately there are no code blocks for these kind of functions. So that's when I have to use a function call. If you're using GML, these are the actual GML function names that you can use directly. So now we can create a path to the player when the enemy is alerted in the check player script. So back over in our check player script, we don't want to do a move towards point. That was just demonstrating what we didn't want to use. But instead, I'm going to drag across a function call.
Wait, did I screw up when I first started doing this?
And I'm going to add here our mp underscore grid underscore path. And what this function will do is calculate if it can reach a particular position. We give it the ID of the motion planning grid, the path that we want to use, the start.
I might actually have to change my thing completely because of the way I have my code running now. I might have to change my code. But I can never get... I couldn't get this to work. It's a good thing that we're getting rid of it because, oh my gosh, I couldn't get it to work.
I want to do a move towards point. That was just demonstrating what we didn't want to use. But instead, I'm going to drag across a function call and I'm going to add here our mp underscore grid
Underscore grid path.
underscore path. And what this function will do is calculate if it can reach a particular position. We give it the ID of the motion planning grid, the path that we want to use, the start and the end position, and if we allow diagonal movement. So let's pass those in. So we have our global.mp grid. We have our path variable. Our starting position is just our X. And our Y. And we want
Dude, not gonna lie, I'm low-key kind of hungry
to move
and
towards
thirsty.
the player's X and the player's Y.
Got it. This might not work still. We'll see though.
And for the last thing, which is diagonal movement, that means essentially will the motion plan just use left and right, horizontal or vertical movement, or will we allow some diagonal movement as well? And I'm going to actually put a choose in here and say 0 or 1. So it'll choose whether it allows diagonal movement or not. And that'll make sure that 50% of the time it does do that. It just
All right, I think that should be.
gives some diversity in the way that the enemies move. So what we can write here is, can we make a path to the player? Now I ask that as a question, and the reason is that this function will return true or false. True if this path can be completed. So when that returns a true or false, I'm going to store it in a variable called found player, and we'll just make that a temporary.
Okay, got it. Found player. I would love for this to be more, I don't know, multiplayer friendly, but we'll figure it out for
So
that.
was the player found? Can we get to the player? And if we can, we'll drag this down here and we'll say that if found player is equal to true, then if it is, we want to start the path. So if we can reach the player. So how do we start the path? Well, there's finally a code block that we can use, and it's called start following path. And all we have to do is give it the path we want to follow. So we can just type in the word path there for the variable, and we'll start moving toward the player at the speed of 1. And this is what happens when we reach the end of the path. And absolute, we can leave it false. That's just referring to the type of path in the room. Now, to enable enemies to move at different speeds, I'm going to set a variable here called move speed instead of setting it to 1. And with our move speed variable, we can just go back to our enemy in the create event. And let's just add another variable called move speed. I will set it to 1, and it just means that
We already have a thing, so that's good.
enable enemies to move at different speeds.
If what?
Speeds, I'm going to set a variable here called move speed instead of setting it to 1. And with our move speed variable, we can just go back to our enemy in the create event. And let's just add another variable called move speed. I will set it to 1, and it just means that if we have other enemies, they can have their own move speed variable and they'll travel at different speeds. So let's go back to our room and let's just go to our enemy layer, and I'm going to just add a bunch of enemies. If I select enemy over here and hold down Alt, I can drop more than one, and I'll drop a few around there. So let's press play and test this out. Now we can see that the enemies all move towards the player, and they also take a different path. They're not all following that same path towards them. Now you see though, when they eventually reach the player, they just go straight to the X and Y position and they just stand there. Now, one thing that's handy is it'll be nice to be able to see the path that they're taking. So what we can do is just go into our enemy parent. Let's add a draw event.
Okay. But let's first and foremost, and we'll have a juice. Okay, well that needs to I need to test this, and I can't test this if you catch me, bro. What the heck? Die, criminal scum. Hold up, he's not doing what he's supposed to. Hold up. That ain't right. That ain't right. Wait, hold up. Does he even have this code in him? Oh wait, I know exactly why. It's because I haven't deleted his thing yet. Yep, that's right. Let's hope this works. Are you serious? All that for him to stand the frick still? No, that's actually infuriating. Like, I am incredibly upset now. Like, oh my gosh, it literally. Like, what the heck? Hold up, am I being stupid right now? Am I being so freaking stupid that I'm being absolutely stupid. There's no way. There's no way on God's beautiful green earth that I'm so how did this elude me? I don't know. But that I'm pretty sure that is not right. I'm pretty sure I completely botched that. I could be very wrong, but if I am, I could just grab it from that because that does seem stupid. But let's see. Check for player. Okay. So then that will be check for player. Yeah, okay, this works. This works. Okay, this works. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. Okay, that is beautiful. I love to see it. Love to see it. Love to freaking see it. Yes. Okay. That's why my code wasn't. Oh my gosh, dude, that is so infuriating. But so, oh my gosh, relieving. I'm literally sitting there thinking like I screwed up everything and that like my whole thing was like done for. Like I was like I'm gonna give up now. But no, that's beautiful. That is amazing. So yeah. Um. Hmm.
And once we add a draw event, then the regular draw will no longer happen. So if you ever add a draw event, you have to go and draw the.
What the heck? Did I accidentally? Okay, what the heck?
Instance using draw
All
cell.
right, perfect.
Now I'm going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to look at if our key down is being pressed. So if we're holding down, let's say under letters, I'm going to hold down P for path. And if that's happening, I'm going to execute some code. And the reason being is there is no code block for what I'm going to show you. So here, this is pretty large. I'm just going to shrink this down and just make it so we can see it all in one location. And what I want to do is just draw path. And I'm going to draw the path and just the X and Y and 0 for our absolute. Now for that path function,
I
if I
honestly
hold
don't
down
care.
P, you'll be able to see the path that the enemies are taking. So every time I run around, you can see the way that they're trying to move towards the player's position. Now, one problem is calculating paths is not something you want to do every step like we are currently doing. It can be fairly CPU intensive when you have many enemies and the room is larger, and it's just not needed. So instead,
Okay.
we can add a timer and only calculate the path a few times a second. Also, we don't want to have all the enemies doing their calculations on the same step, as each step needs to complete within 1/60th of a second. So we can ensure the timer is random for each enemy, and that spreads out the load on the CPU. So in the enemy parent, let's go to the create event and let's add an assign variable code block, and let's have some variables for the path calculation. And I'll just call it calc path delay. And we'll set this.
Oh, snap. I've realized something that is a little bit. This might be a little awkward. So, is it in here then? No. Fun. Is it in this that it does it? So, that's not annoying in the least bit. This is all. I'll fix this eventually. Noki is playing Payday 2. Good for him. Dude, I got the. Okay. Whew, that's a lot of brain mumbo jumbo. That's a lot of brain mumbo jumbo for one night. Okay. Hmm.
Set in 1807, the player takes on the role of an unnamed.
Okay. Yeah, that's a. All right, guys. I'm actually probably going to head out soon. Um, Give me 1 second though. I want to be a nice, good pal. Just give me one second, 1 second. I want to. Uh, how do I go about this? Just 1 second, guys. I'm so I'm so exhausted that my brain is like completely and utterly melted.